Well, we have huge amounts of concern, a lot of concerns over the development and urban policies of the last 80 years. Sustainable development is one of the concerns. And right now, I'm doing everything I can to defeat these policies. I've called certain amounts of people, certain amounts of groups, all over the state. I've called a lot of the city halls, especially the one I live in, Laguna Niguel. So, now they're being good with me. So basically, I'm doing everything I can, and most importantly, look. And people ask me, Cyrus, why are you with this group? Don't you know that they're manipulated by, very wealthy people? Don't you know some of their viewpoints are flawed? Okay, look, I understand that, okay, but again, I do this because I want to spread the word. I'm doing this for the benefit of society. Okay. What I did about a few days ago, I went to a local Tea Party meeting, and I discussed about this issue about the concerns over sustainable development and how we have to come together and we have to fight this initiative. And and there were some things that I may not agree with them, but again, at least they're right about this issue. And they're aware about this and they want to fight this. And what a lot of people don't understand is that this whole sustainable development movement, when it comes to urban planning, people think, ooh, this is a fun way to put a little rail tracks and put a little, mixed use housing. Look, this is where the misleading and deception is coming from. That's not what it's about. This is a takeover about our land use functions on a regional basis, and it's basically a takeover on how we get around. It's just basically invading our lifestyles. It's shoving things down our throats, whether we like it or not. This is absolutely critical. It's very depressing. Basically, what they have done is that the state passed a law called Senate Bill 375. And they set up these regions. One of the regions we are in, okay, includes 5 counties. And right now, in a few days, probably this Thursday, in the city of Anehiem, and in fact, I'm going to put the address if you want, and if you can see the address, and if you want to actually see me in person, you can do so. I'm going to go there, I'm going to speak, and I'm going to spread the voice, do everything I can to defeat them. And so this is really the thing. I mean, if you look at me, I like walkable neighborhoods. I like to see some people, live above stores. I like transit. But I don't like this sustainable development program. This is a trap. This is a deception. And they use these flimsy words, and they use these contagious and these diagrams to put people in this trap. What they try to do basically is they create these fake scenarios and these fake problems that don't exist. Like, ooh, we're having a problem with greenhouse gases and climate change, resource depletion. Or they even bring out real scenarios and real problems, but then people don't know that the solution or the thing that they're bringing out is not going to really make things better. I mean, yeah, sure, the current system we have, it's a car-dependent system with strip malls and cookie-cutter housing subdivisions and mega collector roads and highways. But again, whose fault is that? Blame the planners. They were the ones who initiated the codes and the regulations and the subsidies. They say, oh, we consume too much gasoline. We consume too much resources. Why are we getting the blame? Why we the people? Blame the oil companies. Blame the giant retailers who passed the trade agreements to offshore our jobs. Blame the bankers. They say, well, we consume too much in housing and square footage. Well, blame the banksters on Wall Street. They were the ones who giving out the easy credit loans. I mean, even if these are problems that we consume too much, you're going after the wrong people. I mean, this is insane. And so what they do is they create a scenario where they say it's really a problem, and then they act like the saviors, these governmental, these special interest groups, these corporations, and then they create this solution, they fool us, they put us in this trap, and then they make things even worse. It's just absolutely crazy. And believe me, like I tell you before, I dislike both systems, sustainable development and the system that we've had that still exists, which is car-dependent cities, cookie-cutter housing subdivisions, strip malls, very car-dependent cities, which is heavily manipulated by codes. But at least, the great part is that a lot of us have single-family homes with yards, and that I respect and that I'm going to fight to preserve. But basically, instead of just invading people's lifestyles, why can't they do what I'm doing? Go, in somewhere there's vast empty land, build an alternative city with no subsidies, no new regulations, and compete with the system, like what I showed you before. But that just shows you the irony, the obvious thing that they're not there to, and offer a solution. They want to monopolize and act like, that they're better than everybody else. That they know better. And they have to shove things down our throats whether we like it or not. This is absolutely just devastating, okay? And as a 19-year-old, it's just depressing how I can figure this out. And it's depressing that I should be the one who's concerned about this, because this is a 40, 50-year plan. And I could be living many decades with this policy. I got to be really concerned about this. And you know something? We're going to all come together. We're all going to occupy the city halls, and this is a movement that I call so we can stop this thing. Basically occupy the city halls in the area where I live in, the 949 area code, South Orange County. We're also going to occupy sustainable development sites. Whenever there's a construction site, we're going to basically protest, pass flyers. It can cause a lot of words to be spread around. And in fact, this may sound a little too extreme, but you have to spread the word about this. But I'm going to create a proposition, the state of California, to overturn Senate Bill 375 so that we can defeat this damn thing. This whole thing collapses. And believe me, something, if these people try to shoot me, kill me, threaten me, arrest me, go ahead. Because it will only make things worse for the people that support this idea. And when this happens, people will rise up even more, and it will cause even more tension. And I'm not going to give up. To me, this is a life and death situation. So do what you can and spread the word. Thank you.